Hello friends, welcome back to our channel StudyDesk4U, and today's concept form elements. In the previous video, we discussed about forms. How can we define a form and what are the form attributes and all those things. Now I want to discuss with you about form elements. So in this first one, the form contains different form elements and these are input element, text box, password, text area, checkboxes, radio buttons, drop down list, and button. All these are different types of form elements in the form. So let's see one by one. For better understanding, I added an image so that you will understand in an easy way. So first one, text field. So if you want to enter a single line input, then we can use this text field. Here, username. So if you want to enter your name, we need a box here. That box, if you want to define, use this text field. For that, input type equal to text. So here is our element text and the name equal to username. So this box name is username. So like this, you want to display a text box, use this text. Similarly, if you want to display first name, last name, like that, you can use this text boxes for multiple times. And the next one is password. If you want to define a password, then we can use this password element and it is not visible to the user. So if you want to define, use input type equal to password here within the quotations and the name equal to password. This box name is password. So like this, we can use password. And the next one is text area. If you want to define a multi-line text input, then we can use this text area. Whereas in text field, only single line, text area contains multiple lines and it can hold unlimited number of characters we can write. And the last one is the size of the text area can be specified either using rows or columns. Here, rows attribute specifies the visible number of lines in a text area, whereas columns attribute specifies visible width of a text area. So if you want to define like this, for example, address if you want to define or a description box like that, if you want to display a multi-line content, then we can use this text area. The usage is no need to use input element, direct text area element. Within that we have two attributes, those are rows and columns. How many you want, you can give in the quotations and close text area. This is about text area. And the next one is checkboxes. These are used to check multiple options from given checkboxes. So if you want to select multiple options, then we can use this checkbox. Here in the image, I have added different options here, Java, testing, web designing. So if you want to select multiple options, you can choose here by using this checkbox. For that, input type equal to checkbox, name equal to, I have given technology here and the value equal to Java. So for first one, I have given Java and the next one I have given testing and the next one I have given web designing. Like this, how many you want, you can write by using different checkboxes like this. And the last one is radio button. So if you want to select one option from multiple options, whereas in checkboxes you can select multiple options, in radio buttons you will have only two options and that you have to select only one. And the examples are if you want to select a gender or quiz questions. So in quiz, generally you will have four options, in that you have to select only one option. So for that also we are going to use this radio button. So for that, input type equal to radio, name equal to gender and value equal to male. So like this you have to write. And the second one, input type equal to radio, name equal to same gender. So here we need to mention same name for radio buttons and value equal to female. So if you write like this, it displays two options, male and female. In this we have only one option to select. And for default selection, you need to write checked. This is an attribute value. If you want to mention default selection, use checked. So if you use like this, the male option is defaultly selected. So this is about radio buttons. And the next one, drop down list. This drop down list is nothing but here we have two elements we need to specify. Those are select element and option element. Select element defines a drop down list like this. Here is the image in this city. I have to select a city here. Here I have a box here. Here small arrow is indicated. If you click on this, a drop down list is displayed. Like different cities are displayed here. Those cities we need to write in this option values. For that we need to specify this drop down list and use select element. The name equal to whatever you want you can write. Here I have written state here. Otherwise you can write this city here. And the next one is option. By using this we can define an option that can be selected. So which option you want to select, that option we have to mention in this option element. So for that option value equal to something value, and whatever the content you have to display in this box, in this drop down list, you have to write middle and close this option. Like this you can write here. Here I have written different states. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, like this, and for default selection it selects the first item. If you click on this button, all the options are displayed here. And if you want to define a predefined selection, use selected attribute in this option. So for that here we need to write selected. We'll see in the execution part. So if you want to display like this a drop down list, we can use this select with the name. And the next one is list. So if you want to display a direct list of items instead of drop down list, you can use this list. For this we need to use again select and option elements. In this select, after name we need to mention an attribute called as multiple. If you specify like this, it displays all the elements like a list of elements. So for this we need to use this multiple attribute in select element. After this option, whatever the options you want to write, all those are mentioned in this option elements. Then close select. If you want to display a predefined selection, use again selected attribute here. We'll see in the execution part. Last one is button. So if you want to display a button, then we can use this button option. Generally we use this button in JavaScript. In that, if you click on that, something will happen like events, on click, on mouse over. If you want to use those kind of things, we can use this button. We can write this button in two ways. Those are, first one is input type equal to button and value equal to whatever the content you want to display onto the web page, that we need to mention in this value attribute. And otherwise, and the second way is directly we have mentioned this button element and close button in between your content. Like this, in the two ways we can use this button. All these are form elements. Apart from this, we have few more form action elements. Those are, if you click on this, something will happen. Then those are called as action elements. In that, first one is submit. So submit button, it is used to submit your form. In your web page, if you want to add a submit button onto the web page, then we can use the submit element, and if you click on this, your form will submit to the server. For that, we need to use this submit, and the way is input type equal to submit and the value equal to, if suppose if you want to display like this register, we need to give register instead of save here. So like this, whatever the content you want to display onto the web page, that we need to mention in the value here. So that is about submit. And the next one is reset button. If you want to clear the content, like whatever you fill above username, password, all those things, if you want to clear the content or reset the content, we can use this reset button. Like this it displays, and the input type equal to reset and value equal to clear. So if you use like this, clear content is displayed here. And the next one is image. So if you want to display any image onto a form, then we can use this image element. For that, like this, if you want to display an image, here subscribe is my image I displayed in this form. So for that, we need to use input type equal to image, and that URL we need to mention within the SRC. And the next one, last one is upload. So if you want to upload your files like image files, Word files, PDF files, all those things, then we can use this upload. For that, input type equal to file and name equal to file. If you use like this, it displays like this, choose file and no file chosen. So if you click on this, it gives you a dialog box. In that you can select your file. So all these are form action elements and form elements. Now we'll see how to use these form elements in practically. So let's go to execution part. Here we go with Visual Studio Code for execution. So in this I'm going to open content.html for my basic tags. And now my title. So today I want to create a registration page. So registration. Again heading. H1 tag. Also registration page. So because in this registration page we have all the options like username, password, checkboxes and drop down list, text area, all those options are there. So today I'm going to create that one. So first one, form. So in this we have an attribute called as action equal to and method. So we have two methods. So here I'm going to use get. So this is form. So in this action, if you click on the submit button, it goes to somewhere else. Suppose details.php like this. So in this form, first one username. But before going to write username, I'm going to create a table. So because if you write like this, we need to use break tag for individual or next line. So if you use this table, we have table rows here, so that everything will assign in rows, in separate rows. We'll use this table. So here I'm going to use table tag. In this table, first one, tr. In tr we have td, table data. So first one is username. And the next one, again td, input element, input and type equal to text. And one more attribute, name equal to suppose user. Like this you have to write all the elements. Right now I'm going to execute this one. So first one we need to save this because it is in content.html. For saving, Ctrl Shift plus S for save as, and register reg.html. Now Alt plus B for execution. So registration page is my heading and username and one text box. And now next row. So right now I finished one row. Again tr, again td. So in this password, again one more td, again input type, password, and name your wish. Here I am writing pwd. So I finished second row here. Save this, Alt plus B for execution. You will get password here. I want to display address. Again one more tr. So in this td, I want to display address. Again td. To display text area, use text area. So text area, and this will have two attributes, rows equal to 5 rows, calls equal to 30. Now execute Ctrl plus S, Alt plus B. You will get address box here. And the next one, after text area, we need to display some checkboxes. So that again one more row, again td. Here I want to select courses. So use courses text. Again td. In this input type equal to checkbox. Name equal to suppose tech1 and value equal to Java. Now close this input. Now save this and execute. You will get checkbox here, but you haven't displayed any text here. So for that, after closing input, we need to give the text here. So for that I'm going to add Java so that it will display. Now save this, Alt plus B for execution. Now Java displayed. Now I want a similar rows here. So for that I'm going to copy the same input. Copy this. Before closing td, I'm going to paste this one. Ctrl V. So here I'm going to change the values here. So 2. Again the technologies also I'm going to change. Instead of Java, testing. So to display content also testing. And the value for third one, suppose web designing. Here also web designing. And the last one, suppose PHP. Now that's it. Save this, Alt plus B for execution. You will get different options here. So that's it. And the next one more row for selecting gender. So here again td, and this I want to select a gender, so gender, and again TD. Here you have two options. In this you have to select only one. So here I'm going to copy this one, copy and paste. So instead of checkbox, radio, and instead of name, gender, so gen, and the value male. Same thing for female, again radio, again gender. So here we need to mention same name, and the next one female, and here content also female, and lastly male. Now save this, Ctrl S and Alt plus B, you will get output here. For default selection we need to give checked attribute here. I will discuss these attributes in the next session. Right now checked. Now save this, Alt plus B, you will get default selection. Here also you can use in checkboxes for default selection like this. After value checked, here you can select multiple options, right? So checked. Save this, Alt plus B. Here you will get the output for default selection of items. Now the next row, after gender, now I want to display a drop down list. So I want to select a city. Again TR, TD, now city. So for drop down list, use select element and the name equal to suppose city. So in this select we need to use again one more, that is option. Here value equal to suppose Hyderabad. So close. In between also you have to display the content Hyderabad. Like this you can display multiple options. Now copy this, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. Here are my values. Now save this, Ctrl S, Alt plus B. So TD. So I'm going to place this also into TD. Close this TD. So after city I'm going to add one more TD. Now save this, Alt plus B. You will get drop down list here. If you click on this, it displays the different items. You can select here options. So after this I'm going to display a list of items. Again TR, in this TD. Now I want to display state. So I want to display states. So again one more TD, and this again select option. So I'm going to copy this one, copy and paste. And this select city, I'm going to add state. And after name attribute, I'm going to add multiple. So if you write like this, a list is displayed, and change all the values here. For state, AP, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Change the values here instead of all these things, and the last one, so like this. Now save this, Ctrl S, Alt plus B. Here you will get state here. If you have longer list, a default scroller is added here. So this is about list. And the last one, button. So if you want to display a submit button, again I'm going to create one more row here. In this TD, input type equal to submit, and the value is register. Now save this, Alt plus B, register. So if you click on this, if you fill all the values and click on this, it will go to details.php, because in this action I have given details.php here. So again one more, for that in the same row I'm going to add one more for reset. Again copy and paste. For input type equal to reset, and value equal to suppose clear or delete. Here I'm going to enter delete. Now save this, Alt plus B. Here delete. Now if you want to display any border for table, you can give here. For that, in the table attribute I'm going to add border equal to the thickness. You can mention, here I have given 1. So you will have a border, but in between the cells you have border. So if you want to remove, use cell space. Cell spacing equal to 0. Now save this, Alt plus B. And padding, cell padding equal to something 5. Now save this, Alt plus B. like this. Like this you can mention here username, suppose Ram, and password also Ram, address something Hyderabad, and I'm going to select web designing, PHP and testing, and mail, and city Bangalore, state Karnataka. And if you click on this register, all the details are goes to details.php file, and this delete for if you want to clear all these data, like this. If you click on this, all those boxes are empty. Now you can re-enter the details like Shyam. So like this you can use register and delete. Like so, all these are form elements. That's it for today's session. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions or suggestions, please comment in the comment section. For online or offline classes, visit our website www.fratelloinnotech.com, and for more tutorials, visit our one more website www.kennisworld.com. And don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for further notification. And if you like this video, please like and share. Thanks for watching.